Okay, we've got a curve intersecting a line at a point where x equals alpha, and we've got, oh look, we've got to show that alpha is in a particular range. So we recognize this as being the sign change method. But before we can get started on the sign change method, we need to have something, some f of x equaling 0. And we see that we want to intersect the x-axis, so our y has to equal what? And that happens when x is alpha, so alpha is the name of our root. And the way you show that the root is between two values is you put something into f of x, you put something else into f of x, you use these two numbers, you get two different answers, you state these answers to an appropriate level of accuracy, and you can comment on them individually if you like, but then you have to write the standard sentence. Now that should be in your notes, and you need to learn it and you need to write it out correctly so that you don't fluff getting the mark. I really ought to tell you what the sentence is, but just in case you haven't got it in your notes, then I will tell you now. Can you please, if you're relying on this, can you please go away immediately after viewing this and write this sentence somewhere into your notes? So here's that standard sentence. You say that f of x changes sign between x equals first value and x equals second value. So there is a root alpha with first value is less than alpha is less than second value. Don't miss any of these words out or any of these ideas out, because that's the sentence they want to see. Now for the next part of the question, we just need to show that, okay, this equation can be rearranged into this form. Okay, now this shouldn't cause you any problems at all, but as a general tip, it's often easier to start with the end one. It will often be easier to spot how that one is simplified rather than recognizing how this one is rearranged. So do start with this one and end with this one on the page, but if you write that one lower down the page and work backwards towards this one, writing your lines up the page, that can sometimes be a good tactic. And then finally, I mean, that was a re-entry point, and this is yet another re-entry point. We're now using this, but written as an iteration. We've got a starting value 2, and we've got to find the values of the next three, x2, x3, and x4. So you put 2 into this formula, and the answer to that is your x2. And then you put that value into the formula, and you get the value of x3. And you give all your answers correct to 3 significant figures, okay? You actually work with your values of x2, x3 and x4 to the full level of accuracy your calculator will allow, okay, but you give your final answers on the page rounded to 3 significant figures. And if you know how to use your answer button on your calculator, essentially on your calculator you'll type in the cube root of answer plus 7, okay, you won't actually have to, if you use this, retype in your answers, rounded or otherwise. You'll be able to use the fully precise answers on your calculator, and then round the answers down for your final written recording of your results.